Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Delightful Creations. I'm Amber, and today I wanted to share with you a couple of things that I've been working on this week and also what I've done in the past. So Pat Sweeney and I have decided to do a Franken page, and I've tried to do this sort of technique in the past. A couple years ago, like I said, I watched a lady here on YouTube, and she used her scraps. She had a whole bunch cut out on her desk, and she just glued them down in some paper, and I attempted to copy her. So I'm going to show you the examples of the old ones that I've made. Here's two different ones. And they're at diagonals, just random bits of paper glued down, and they are backed. That one's on some pink plaid, and this one's on white, and I hate them. They are ugly. I do not like these at all, and so I was afraid that this is what Pat Sweeney would want to have in her swap, was like this weird Franken paper ugly mess. Like, it's just all over the place. The color scheme, it just doesn't work. So if any of you are interested and having these, I will gladly send them to you. Otherwise, I am literally going to throw these away. I think they are so ugly, and I have kept them all this time. I don't know why, but I dug through my scrap pile and found them, and I don't want to look at them. So if anybody wants these, I'll ship them off to you. No problem. So I watched another video of a lady who had told me to get my paper scraps more or less organized or coordinated before I started gluing down, and that definitely helped me. So this one here is going to be a tag base, a 3x6 tag. I'm going to trim the corners and add my hole and then decorate it, of course. This one's in purple, and I feel much better about this. I had a paper trimmer, and I had fun just cutting the different papers out and gluing them down, and it was a lot easier. And I made 4 different examples. This one is pink with some roses and flowers, and it's just on the back of some packaging. This one is actually an Apple Jacks box. I can tell because there's a big old green spot right there, but no problem. I'll cover that up with a sticker or something. Here's my Christmas one. And I love, love, love the gold in here. Even though I don't care for gold, I think it just adds a little extra to the back of that. And I think somebody will be happy to receive it. And then here's my fall one, which I glued down on here as well. Just making little strips and fat strips just to give it some different, dimension and character. So I enjoyed this process here a lot more than the first one. So I looked up Franken page, right? And I decided to do it the same way, only I started on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and this one I made in pink and girly and flowers, and it says girls rule and power and kisses friends style, and this was actually really fun to make and glue down. I enjoyed this. This was took me about 15 minutes to make this page, and so I decided to do something that for me is crazy, is ripping paper. Guys, I have never ripped paper. It's like it's uncomfortable for me. It is something I do not enjoy because, I don't know, maybe because my children rip paper and I get upset because it's my paper, but right, these are scraps. So I decided I'm going to give it a try. So I did this pastels with purples and yellows and little blues and orange, and I ripped it, and this one page, it's on that back of an 8.5 by 11 again, took me 45 minutes. 45 minutes! I couldn't believe how long it took me to glue this down. I'm like, just rip it and stick it down. It doesn't really matter. No, 45 minutes. Ripping paper is not something I enjoyed. It was very unpleasant for me. But I decided for Miss Pat Sweeney's swap, I wanted to do a clean one and a ripped one, just so she has 2 different versions of stuff that she can use, because maybe she prefers this style as to the clean and pristine. So I'm going to show you the clean version first. It's this one here. It's so pretty. I really enjoyed making this. Again, about 15 minutes to cut all the scraps and glue them down. I used my paper trimmer, and I just stuck them on there in different fashions and shapes and cut around the edge so that they would be straight, the ones that hung over. And then here's the ripped version. And this one was probably just as difficult as the first one for me to go ahead and make, but I was a little bit quicker, maybe 30 minutes for this. And I used some old book pages on here. And I used this really cool paper. I have it sitting right here on my desk. It's like, kind of like tissue paper with like paper fibers, or like almost looks like kind of like feathers in there. And then you just tear it off, and it just makes this cool little effect here on the edge. And I thought, wow, that's really pretty. So I glued quite a few pieces of that on there for her. And I hope that she enjoys these and can use them in her crafting projects coming up. And yeah, guys, I just wanted to share with you the progress that I've made over the years with paper crafting and using my scraps. I challenge each and every one of you to not throw anything away and to use it in some project. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy crafting.